Hey Vikings fans, welcome back to Minnesota Vikings News, and hold on to your seats because we've just got a huge update for you that dropped right now. This isn't just any ordinary game preview. We're talking about some serious injury drama that could change the course of this weekend's matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You won't want to miss this. Before we dive into all the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Trust me, you'll want to stay in the loop because the story is huge and will definitely keep you on the edge of your seat. Alright, let's get into it. The Minnesota Vikings are gearing up for a crucial matchup this weekend against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And while the focus is on the game itself, there's some serious uncertainty surrounding both teams, especially when it comes to injuries. The Jaguars are heading into this one likely without starting QB Trevor Lawrence, who is still battling a left shoulder injury. If Lawrence can't go, backup QB Mac Jones is expected to step in. But here's the twist. The Vikings are also dealing with some big injury questions, and they could be just as impactful. Let's talk about the Vikings' defense. For the past 3 games, Minnesota has been without their starting inside linebacker, Blake Cashman, a key piece in Brian Flores' defensive scheme. The results have been mixed, but against the Colts last week, the defense finally started to click. Now, insiders are saying Cashman might be back this weekend, but don't hold your breath just yet. He's still listed as questionable, and he's not the only one. Ivan Pace Jr., Cashman's replacement, is also listed as questionable. Imagine going into a game without both of them. It would be a major concern for Minnesota, especially since the linebacker position has been a huge focus this season. But that's not all. Cornerback Caleb Evans is another player who has been limited in practice, but it looks like he'll be good to go for Sunday's game. Evans, now behind veterans like Stephon Gilmore and Byron Murphy Jr., will likely see most of his action on special teams. The only other player listed as questionable for the Vikings is edge rusher Gabe Murphy, who's still in the early stages of his 21-day practice window, so it's unlikely we'll see him on the field. So, with a relatively clean injury report on the surface, it seems like the Vikings are in decent shape. But here's the kicker. In the past 2 weeks, they've lost All-Pro left tackle Christian Darrisaw, their rookie kicker of the year, and their starting long snapper. That's a huge hit to both the offense and special teams. But don't panic just yet, because GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah seems to have made another smart move by bringing in Cam Robinson to help solidify the offensive line. As long as Parker Romo doesn't implode under pressure, this Vikings team is looking stable enough to weather the storm. Now let's flip the script. The Jaguars have their own injury issues. We already know Trevor Lawrence is questionable, but that's not the end of the story. Former Vikings guard Ezra Cleveland is out with an ankle injury, and the Jags wide receivers Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis are also listed as questionable. The good news for Jacksonville is that Tank Bigsby and Brandon Scherff appear to be in the clear, so they should be good to go. So, with injuries on both sides of the ball, this game is shaping up to be a real battle. How do you think these injuries will impact the game? Will the Vikings be able to overcome their defensive concerns? Or will the Jaguars take advantage of the Vikings' weakened lineup? We want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about the injury situation and how it might affect this Sunday's matchup. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss the latest updates on the Vikings. We'll keep you informed every step of the way. Skol Vikings!